Have you ever felt afraid to speak up at work? Maybe you had a great idea but worried about being laughed at, or noticed a problem but feared being blamed. If so, you're not alone. This fear of judgment can paralyze teams and stifle innovation. But what if there was a way to create workplaces where everyone felt safe to contribute, take risks, and be themselves? Today, we're diving into the game-changing concept of psychological safety at work. Welcome to the Brain Talk Sessions YouTube channel. Your journey to a healthier mind starts here, where we share psychology explained for everyday life. Psychological safety refers to the belief that you can express your thoughts, questions, or concerns at work without fear of humiliation, punishment, or rejection. It's the sense that your voice matters, and mistakes are treated as opportunities for learning rather than reasons for blame. This concept has gained global attention because workplaces everywhere are facing challenges like burnout, employee disengagement, and rapid change. In competitive markets like the US, UK, Canada, and Australia, leaders are realizing that productivity depends as much on employee well-being and trust as on technical skills. But what exactly is psychological safety? The term was popularized by Harvard professor Amy Edmondson, who defined it as a shared belief that the team is safe for interpersonal risk-taking. This means employees feel safe to speak up, ask questions, or admit mistakes. Importantly, psychological safety doesn't mean there are no rules or accountability. Instead, it's the balance between safe to speak up and still being held accountable for performance. It's less about creating an environment where honesty is encouraged and mistakes don't lead to personal attacks or retaliation. So why does psychological safety matter so much? Research shows that it directly influences team performance, innovation, and employee retention. Google's famous Project Aristotle found that psychological safety was the single most important factor in high-performing teams, even more critical than technical expertise. Teams with high psychological safety are more creative because members aren't afraid to suggest unconventional ideas. They're also more resilient, as employees feel comfortable admitting errors early, which prevents larger issues. On a human level, it improves mental health, reduces stress, and makes employees feel valued and respected, leading to higher job satisfaction. Despite its importance, many workplaces struggle to create psychological safety. Common barriers include fear of judgment. Employees worry they'll look incompetent or weak if they speak up. Toxic leadership styles, such as micromanagement or authoritarian control, create an environment where people stay silent to protect themselves. Cultural stigma also plays a role. In some organizations, mistakes are punished harshly, or failure is viewed as unacceptable. These factors discourage employees from taking risks, asking questions, or admitting uncertainty, which ultimately harms performance and innovation. So how can leaders build psychological safety? They have the most influence in shaping a psychologically safe workplace. They can start by encouraging open communication and feedback, making it clear that all voices are welcome. Leading with vulnerability and empathy is equally important. When leaders admit their own mistakes or uncertainties, they signal that imperfection is normal. Normalizing learning from mistakes helps employees view errors as growth opportunities rather than failures. Finally, inclusive decision-making ensures that team members feel involved and respected, reducing the fear that their opinions don't matter. While leaders set the tone, teams also play a key role in building psychological safety. Peer support and trust-building strengthen bonds and make it easier for individuals to speak openly. Respecting diverse perspectives is crucial, especially in multicultural workplaces across North America and Europe. Teams can also adopt structured communication practices, such as regular check-ins or retrospectives, where each member has equal opportunity to share. These rituals help create consistency, fairness, and predictability in communication, which further builds trust. Let's look at some real-world examples. Companies like Google, Microsoft, and Netflix are often cited as organizations that prioritize psychological safety. They encourage experimentation, open dialogue, and constructive feedback. For instance, Netflix's culture of freedom and responsibility empowers employees to make decisions without fear of punishment. On the other hand, there are also cautionary tales of companies where lack of psychological safety led to scandals, poor performance, or mass resignations. These contrasting cases highlight the long-term benefits of building trust and the costly risks of ignoring it. Imagine a workplace where you could share your wildest ideas without fear of ridicule, where admitting a mistake was seen as a sign of strength, not weakness. This isn't just a fantasy, it's the reality in organizations that prioritize psychological safety. And the benefits are clear: more innovation, better problem solving, and happier, more engaged employees. But creating this environment isn't always easy. It requires a shift in mindset from both leaders and team members. Leaders must be willing to show vulnerability, admit when they don't have all the answers, and actively seek input from their teams. Team members need to practice empathy, support each other, and challenge ideas respectfully. Think about your own workplace. Do you feel safe to speak up, even when your opinion differs from the majority? Are mistakes treated as learning opportunities or reasons for blame? If you're a leader, how do you respond when someone on your team points out a flaw in your plan? Building psychological safety is an ongoing process, not a one-time event. It requires consistent effort and reinforcement. But the payoff is immense. Teams with high psychological safety are more likely to bring their full selves to work, leading to greater creativity, productivity, and job satisfaction. So, what can you do to start building psychological safety in your workplace? If you're a leader, start by actively listening to your team members, acknowledging their contributions, and showing that it's okay to be imperfect. If you're a team member, support your colleagues when they speak up, and don't be afraid to share your own ideas and concerns. Remember, psychological safety isn't about being nice all the time or avoiding difficult conversations. It's about creating an environment where honest, respectful dialogue can flourish, even when discussing challenging topics. In conclusion, psychological safety is not just a nice-to-have, it's the foundation for innovation, productivity, and employee well-being. The key takeaways are: it allows people to take risks, share ideas, and learn from mistakes without fear. Leaders and teams both have a role in fostering this environment through openness, empathy, and respect. To move forward, organizations must shift from blame to learning, from fear to trust. Building a psychologically safe workplace is a journey, not a destination. It requires ongoing effort and commitment from everyone in the organization. But the rewards, in terms of innovation, performance, and employee satisfaction, are well worth it. If you've experienced workplaces with strong or weak psychological safety, share your story in the comments. Your insights could help others on their journey to creating healthier, more productive work environments. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more insights on leadership, workplace culture, and employee engagement. Together, we can create workplaces where everyone feels safe to be their best selves.